Sorry guys, just needed to fix some things. Hello. So rude just looking at my phone. Let's see when the people are getting in. Until then, we are looking at Bitcoin. And I will have hello. Oh my god, Wesley, you are the only one here. I'm so happy. I got to go soon. We'll be there for 15 minutes. No problem. No problem, Wesley. You're just disappointing me as always. Just joking. Hey, the real JJ is there. Hello. How are you guys? How are you? So yeah, market has been pretty boring this weekend. Really boring. So we just let's see what can happen during. Hello from Paris. Hello, Flududu. How are you? Sagar is here. Natalie. Hi, Natalie. How are you? I'm good, Sagar. How are you? I'm really good. It's really boring weather in Sweden. Well, Mark. I'll try to have a 4-hour live stream today. So Wesley, you just be right here. I'll be right here waiting for you. We'll see how that goes. Looking at ETC, USDT. Let's see what happened here before. Okay, we're just taking everything away so we can, Nath. Hello, how are you? Everyone, welcome to this live stream. I hope everyone's good. Yeah, I hope you have good weather wherever you are in the world. Because in Sweden it's raining right now. It's really boring. I was just outside and I really wanted to go inside like pretty quick. Okay, we're looking at XRP, Luna, and Link are looking to start their engines. Okay, we just might have to see. Okay, well, we're having the market going kind of sideways on ETC USDT. Looking at the weekly, we're looking at the monthly, how it did look, because we've only been 7 days in November. Let's see what we can do here. So we're having a trend line on the monthly. I usually don't do that, but we can just fix it while we're looking. So this is how it looks. So okay, guys, we're just having this. Let's see. We're having a trend line that looks pretty good like this, actually. I don't want to cut any candles out. Need to be perfect. Oh, Wesley, you're having some trouble with the weather too? It's pretty boring. Well, it's oh shit. Okay, so I mean, we're just going in a sideways market, looking at the daily too, looking like this on ETC. It's really boring, but we are maintaining the higher time. We're maintaining lower highs. If we are looking at the weekly, we have a lower high, a lower low, a higher low, and right now we have a lot of wicks to the downside. We tried to fake, we did have the support. Market faked us out right here. So market coming in, market broke, fake out, comes inside, retest the support again, and now we just might have the market continuing to the upside. We've already been touching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this was the 5th time we were touching the uptrend, or the trend line that we're having to the upside. So right now we just might see the market breaking the support, and then we slowly see market continuing to the upside again. Looking at the lower time frames, we had another fake out. We did have a small downtrend right here. A small downtrend. We broke the trend. We retested the trend line on the 4-hour chart. The last lower high that we did have was around 53.84, around that level. Market is now continuing up, and that's not strange because we did have the doji right here during yesterday. And even on the 12-hour chart, you can see that this was the fake out. So we've really been trying to break this level, but we never had the power to do it. So it looks like we are continuing back up. But so yeah, but the market has just done its move, so it's too late to go into it right now. Maybe if we're coming back down to 53.40 one more time, because we don't have any bearish wicks right now to the downside, so I cannot take my Fibonacci, but definitely see if the market comes back down to 53.40, around that level. As long as we're not breaking this, oh, because this is still on the 30 minutes chart, sorry. We can also come back down to, it's pretty far away, but it's just if the market would come back down to 52.85. We have been bouncing off the support. We're breaking the downtrend on the 4-hour chart, and right now we need to wait for the market to come back down, because as always, we're buying at the higher low and we're selling at the lower high. And we're in an uptrend, so we want the market to come back down for us to have to be able to find the best entry as possible. We don't want to try to buy as high as possible, you know. Looking at Solana, we did look at this one before, or yesterday. Looking at the higher time frame, so during the day we've only been bearish during the today. But the weekly, we do have a huge bullish candlestick. So we're just having a small pullback right now. To where the pullback can come back down to. It's obviously, I did take this Fibonacci since yesterday. We also have a trend line right here. We have the trend line from the low at 184.25. And we've been respecting this trend line the whole time. So we could come back down to that level once more, maybe around 249. But I also have a Fibonacci right here from the lowest point at 242.28 to the highest point, and that is 258.41. Market could come back down to that level, combined with the trend line, market goes up. That is also our previous break of structure that we did have here, because the market was just going sideways. We had a pullback, so market broke off of this consolidation market or the previous higher high. Market created a higher low, market broke this previous higher high, can come back down, create another higher low. So just want the market to continue back down on the lower time frames. We're having a small downtrend. The high, the lower high, the lower high. And right now, either we're coming back up and retesting this trend line, or we're coming back down again. Oh, the moon is here. Carl is here. Hope you're good. So yeah, so just waiting to see. You also have a small support right here, and we're trying to break that on the 1-hour chart. We do have a bearish candlestick on the 30 minutes, and looking at the 15, we do have the market having higher lows, but definitely can come back down or come back to the resistance one more time. Looking something like this. So everything is just between everything. So just know, patience is key. We need to wait. I know it's boring. That's the life. with trading, you know. And if we're breaking this trend line, we maybe just have to adjust it depending on where the market comes to. Kenneth Mack, hello, would you look at me? This Dow, what's that? Malaki, morning. Hello, how are you? Are you good today? VET USDT. Oh yes, of course we can look at that one. Okay, let's see how it is doing today. Okay, so we're was it yesterday we was looking at VET? It definitely were. So during the day we have been bearish also. We came up to the resistance one more time. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we also did have a evening star right here. So these three together is an evening star. If you don't know what an evening star is, that is when the market is coming to a resistance, making a reversal pattern, and then the market comes back down. But right now we are in between a resistance between 0.16 and 0.14, and just like all the other pairs being so boring, we just might go back and forth in this between these support and resistance zones. Looking at the higher time frames, yeah, we could come back down to this previous where would I take that from? So we have a previous high right here, and this is the high that we actually have been respecting. Like this. We can also come back down because this is pretty tight. So if we're having too tight of support and resistance zones, we can see the market breaking these levels, and then we're gonna be confused and be like, what? But maybe the market need more space, so we can look at these targets right here, because this is also a previous high. Market can come back down to that level too. So on this resistance that we're having from this high that we're having from 6th of September, if we're breaking that level, we just might retest it, and then we're coming back down to 0.14 to 100. So that is definitely something that could happen. We just have to wait and see how this 4-hour candle is closing in 1 hour. Looking at the 1-hour chart, even on the 30 minutes, we have a really ugly head and shoulders right here. Market can come back down. We just might retest this neckline that we're having right here with this bearish candlestick. Retest, market comes back down, continues doing lower lows and lower highs. So it's pretty hard when you're having the market at the high. Going back in time, we're actually just at the high. We do have a high around 19th of May, and that's where we're respecting if we're just going back in time. You can also see that this is a area where we've had as a support, a wick, market broke it, and this is where we are right now. So the market is always retesting previous support and resistance zones. So that is why it's really good that we're looking at where we are right now. And if we don't have so much to look at right here, there's always something to the left most of the time that we can look at. I actually want to drag this down so it doesn't look that ugly. So we're retesting this low, and the first target is 0.15. If we're breaking 0.15, we can come back up and down to 0.14. And after that, we just have to wait and see what the market will do. But we're having the pullback right now, guys. So just patience is key. Still want to look at Bitcoin. Okay, so if you saw my video that I did have yesterday and today, we're still respecting this trend line to the downside as a resistance. And I took the trend line from the daily because the higher time frame, the better. Even if we're having on the 4-hour chart, we do have some fake outs. And usually when I'm having my trend line, I want to adjust my trend line to where the fake out is. But because I'm taking it from the daily right now, but you can have it like that too. It's okay. But we're still respecting this high at 62,400 right here. So this is for me a supply zone. Going back in time, you've seen the market has been here a lot of times, and every time we came to that level, we either broke it or respected it very, very much. Looking at Ethereum, yeah, so we also had this key level that if we were going into Bitcoinsensus.com, which is a super good website that we're having on Bitcoinsensus, and we did talk about this key level right here since yesterday. I want to see if we can see the pictures. Doesn't look like that. Something just might happen. Okay, so but either way, we do have this key level at 4,469 on the 15 minutes chart. If we're going to the 15 minutes chart, this is how it looks. Taking that one away. So we have a key level here right now at 4,469. Going back in time on the 15, we've been holding this as a previous resistance, as a support. We've had wicks to the downside. We broke this mark. We did break it right now for, was it yesterday? We did break it, and after that, we're starting to have our higher highs and higher lows. Looking at the 1-hour chart, or the 4-hour chart, let's see. So we did have looking at this high right here on the 4-hour at 4,547. We broke it, we came back down, we retested it, and then the market came up. So where Ethereum can come back down to again is 4,546. If we want to see the pullback, we can also take a Fibonacci. If we're not having such a big pullback, we can come back down to 4,570, because right now we are respecting this high at 4,619. So after this candle, we just might see the market coming back down a little bit for then continue to the upside. TUP. Okay, we're looking at TUP. Okay, so we don't have so much data on this. We just might. Okay, this is the only thing that TradingView got, so this is what we're taking from. Okay, so we have the support right here at the daily. Looking at the weekly, Yeah, this is just wicks. Looking at the 12-hour chart. So yeah, we are at the support at 0.29. We do have the market. Okay. We do have a head and shoulder right here. Looking at the 12-hour, this is how it looks. So if we're breaking the, why we can see also here, the market can come up and retest this low that we're having. Okay, bye Wesley. Thank you so much for your help. Have a good day. So what could happen is that the market is coming back up to 0.30, and then you see market continue back down, because if you want to see this as a head and shoulder, this is the neckline. So we're coming up and breaking and retesting the neckline, and after that we just might continue back down, because this market, for what I can see, is pretty choppy. You know, you've had a lot of wicks right here, but we do have a huge bearish candlestick since yesterday. So today we're creating a wick against this support, so we just might come up. But if we're seeing the market coming up to the resistance at 31,000, I want to see how the market is reacting to it, because can you see right now when we're having the downtrend here, you see market creates lower lows and lower highs, market comes back down to the supports, fakes out, comes back down, and now we are starting to reverse to the upside. And that is the same thing that can happen here. So we're having the high highs and high lows, and then when we're coming to the high right here, you just might see exactly what happened down here. Oops. So you start to see the market breaking to the downside, because the last lower high that we did have, if we want to zoom in, taking that one away so it's easier for us to see, market did create high highs and high lows. Market broke the last lower high right here. Looks like we are right now breaking. We did break it, comes back down and retesting that as a new higher low. Market continues back up. Same thing can happen to the upside, but it's just to the opposite way. No problem. Okay, so we're looking at XRP. And so this is good. We are inside of this huge triangle right here. If we're going down to the lower time frames on the 4-hour, and it looks even better on the 1-hour chart, we did have a downtrend. So we came up to the trend line, the resistant trend line. Market had a fake out. After that, market retested the trend line one more time, maintaining the lower lows and lower highs. Market breaks the downtrend when we created our last lower high right here. We broke it, retested it, and after that we're starting to make higher lows and lower higher highs and higher lows. And right now we are trying to break the resistance one more time. So we're just hoping that it will not be a fake out, because if the daily closes above, what could happen on Monday is that we're seeing the market coming back inside of it again, looking exactly like this. So that is why we really have to have an eye against these levels. So because we've been doing that so many times before. We try to break it, market comes back down, try to break it, market comes back down. So if XRP want to be extra boring, it can come inside again, and then we just might see break to the downside or to the upside. So it just might take another week. We don't know that yet, but we're trying to break it. Can't come inside of it again. So we are creating the higher high, as long as we're not seeing the market coming back in again. Do you think we pump, or dump on Monday? I think we will go back down first. I think we will come back down. Seriously, I do that. And Mondays, you know, I don't really like trading on Mondays because the market is doing so much and try, you know, fake you out, and then after, you know, Monday bin, the market decides what direction it goes to. So I'm pretty careful trading on Mondays, but that is also because I do trade other pairs, index pairs, and when it's index, you always have to be careful when the market is opening on Monday, and I have that on Bitcoin too, in cryptocurrencies, because it's just what XO. Hey, how are you doing? I'm good, how are you? I'm really good today. Okay, we're looking at XAU. I hope it's this pair. I never cheat on Monday. No. You don't have to do that. Okay, so we're having a trend line on the weekly. It looks pretty perfect to me. Such a perfect trend line. Just want to do it like that. You know, I really want it to be perfect. I don't want to see any candlestick getting cut when I'm doing a trend line. Okay, so this extremely choppy market living its own life. Two days. Monday market good most of the time. Yeah. We're still creating lower high and higher lows right here on the weekly too. So we are in the uptrend. We're changing that also, looking something like that, dragging it to this level. Okay, so we're having a huge spike to the upside, so the market really tried to break this trend line. The market didn't have the power to do that. I've never seen this market before, but just looking at it, oh Jesus Lord, you have so many wicks. Yeah, so this is actually what's happening in one more time. Going back in time, it happened. We tried to break it, never had the power to do that. So we could come back down from this level right now, what it looks like, and we could come back down to the trend line around 117.61, and then we just might have the power to break it. The overall picture right now, we are in a uptrend because we're maintaining the higher highs, I'm sorry, on the higher time frames. Looking something like this. Can you see when we're having this trend line also? This is where we are respecting. Market's respecting the trend line. Wrong line. What do you mean wrong line? No problem, no problem. No problemos. DX Gamer. On ADA, we came back down to this previous support at 1.9. And right now we've been just consolidating between 2 and 1.9 on the daily. Looking at the 4-hour chart, it's just really boring. We could have another resistance right here, the market has been I know very well understand. Zakir, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay, so A to A is the same thing. Either we have to break 2.02 or we're coming back down to 1.9. So yeah, it's just consolidating. Looking at the daily, we just have a doji, so nothing special happened. We had the fake out to the downside. We came back inside, retested again. It's the same thing all the time. You have the fake up, market comes back down, respect the resistance, comes back down. It's really boring. So boring! But we can definitely take advantage of that. Definitely. Okay. Ocean, Feather. Looking at the weekly first of all. We're having a V formation right here. Can you see that? And that is also a low, a higher low. And we are trying to break this high, but we're having trouble doing that on the weekly. Okay, so we're going to the lower time frame. So we did have another fake out. This is what the market is doing the whole time. It's just trying to fake everyone out all the time. So just you know, if there's someone who doesn't understand trading and they see the market being up here, you know, they're getting panic and they really want to be in the market, having a lot of money, and they see the market go up and they're like, I'm not gonna miss this move, guys, so I'm buying right here. What happens? Market comes back down. 100% sure that this person also over leveraged, so they don't have so much money left on their account, and now they're angry and they're screaming that the market is not good. Trading is not something that you should do, but it is actually you who don't understand how the market is working. It's crazy. Look at this, guy. So we're having to fake out. We're coming back down inside of this resistance again. Retest, market goes back down. Same thing. Over and over and over again. I actually start to like these fake outs. I actually start to like them. Can come back down to the resistance around 0.86, or we're breaking that level too. But on the higher time frames, we do have higher low, higher low, higher low. We just might have to come back down after this fake out comes back down, and then you see the market continuing to the upside, trying also to break this neckline, if you want to call it like that, because we did have, as I told you, we do have a V formation. We have the neckline right here. Market is trying to break it, but it could definitely come back down. So that is why we have to look at how the market is reacting to 0.99 and see if we're actually having the power to break it, and then retest it. Don't look at something like this, market goes up. But what I think, market retested as a new resistance and it comes back down. How do you respond to the fake out and when? Well, when the market is breaking either a support or resistance level, I don't trade at the breakout. I'm waiting for the market to retest. And after that, I'm responding to whatever happens. But if I see the market closing inside of the resistance one more time, I'm not buying the market, obviously. I'm just waiting to see how the market will react. And at this point, looking how it looks on the day when the market comes to the resistance again, and I see market could come back down, combining the lower time frames with the higher time frames, I could definitely scalp from this resistance down to the trend line. But it all depends on how it looks. But when I'm never trade a breakout. That's how you are not getting faked out. A fake out is when you see market breaking this level, or not a fake out, but when the market is breaking this zone right here, this trend line. If you are a breakout trader, you're buying when the market is breaking the level. As a breakout retest, you want the market to come back down to a certain level and see how the market or the candlestick is reacting to it. CRO USDT CRO. Always, as always, I start with the weekly. It's the same thing here. We had the V formation with the higher low, looking like this. Market came back down. We never kind of retested the neckline. Oh, you want to see on the 1 hour? Are you just looking at the 1 hour? I need to look at the whole picture. So we're having a pullback down now. We did have yesterday, we had a bearish candlestick to the downside. And right now we're just consolidating on the 4 hour chart. Going back in time, we don't have anything to look at. We're having the support right here on the 4 hour, and we are having a resistance right here. So the market is just going sideways right now. So either the market breaks, as always, either it can come up to the resistance and then comes back down, and then we just might see the market going in between. But we definitely need to see if the market's breaking the resistance and comes back in, continues to the upside, or if we're breaking the same thing but to the opposite side, to the downside. Looking at the downside, we do have multiple support and resistance zones that we can take advantage of and see how market responding to those levels. Or we can see how the market reacts to this high right here. So on Crow, we're just going sideways. Looking at Algo, starting off with the weekly. We only have millions of dojis on the weekly, and we're just going sideways right here too, guys. We have the Fibonacci at 1.7 and 1.76. We are just above it, so this Fibonacci is as a support, but we're just going inside of these levels. So it's the same thing on like the other pair. If we're coming back down, but this is the good thing that we're having the Fibonacci, is that we can actually see if we're respecting it, comes back down, and then see market continues back to the upside. But this is the daily we're looking at. I want to see how it looks on the lower time frames. So So on the lower time frames, we did have the market did have a head and shoulders on the 4-hour chart. We did break the neckline, but right now we are inside of it again. We are inside of this support right here. So we came back down. This is also a fake out from this support. Market comes up, retest, continuation to the upside. Like, seriously, this is the only thing the market is doing. So many fake outs everywhere. I've never seen, the more I've been looking at the charts, because I'm looking at the charts, like I look at the charts every single day now. Like every single day. And I've never ever in my whole life noticed so many fake outs. I mean, it's no wonder people are getting faked out. It's everywhere. Looking at this, guys, you have the support, market comes back down, comes back up. People are selling the market. Not good. So yeah, I do believe we will come back up on algo. Looks like that. We almost touched the 50% of the Fibonacci. And right now we're having the momentum to the upside, but the overall picture, we are still in between the Fibonacci from 1.7 up to 2. But for the market to come up to this level is definitely something that I can see. But after that, okay, are we seeing another fake out, or does the market actually break it for real deal, and then you see market continues to the upside? So that is something that I would look for when we're coming to the resistance. We're looking at Shiba. Oh, Joan is here. How are you? Good morning, Natalie. Oh, is it morning at your place? It's almost 5 o'clock in Sweden. Okay, so we're looking at Shiba Inu, and we are also having this trend line right here on the daily. We tried to break it during the day. We never had the power to do it. Can you see how perfect this is? It really tries to break these levels. The market has just been going sideways. It's really easy to lose money in a market looking like that. So this support, one fake out, second fake out, market comes back in, comes back down to the support, retest. Oh, okay, it's 7:21. Yeah, it's the same here. But it's almost half past. I don't know how to say it in English. I'm very bad at English when it comes to the clock. I'm not even gonna try. Make you laugh. Nope. Okay, so we're trying to break this trend line. We just might have to see how it goes, if it can do that or not. Market plays with human emotions. Yes, it definitely do that. That is why you have to have all of these rules when you're trading, so you know what to look for instead of just, jumping in the market because you think you're seeing something and it's just wrong. But we could definitely come back up and retest this high at 62.89. See, market comes back inside again. Fake out! See? Or we are respecting this beautiful trend line that I'm having, and then you see market coming back down. It's just a waiting game right now, guys. Looking at the weekly, we do have a huge bearish candlestick. We have a huge wick. So if the market opens tomorrow, we could definitely see the market coming back down to fill the wick that we're having. Usually does that. And when it's Monday, you have the market coming back down, and then on Tuesday, everything goes up. I haven't slept for the last week 24/7 looking at the charts because I am Mr. Bitcoin. Okay. By the way, besides the fake out, I see huge dump coming on myself, which is, yeah, exactly. I also believe the market will come back down a little bit. I always trade with my rules. That's good. You should do that. Trading becomes so easy when you're having the rules to follow, because at that point you just don't care about what you're feeling, because you're like, nope, I'm not trading that because it's not telling me what I wanted to tell me. So I'm just waiting. So we're still, I mean, look at this, guys. So boring. Okay, we can look at OGN just because we can. Looking at the weekly, we're having a huge wick right here. Okay, we're having the market having a W formation. So every time, like wherever you're looking at the market will always give you V formation, double top, double bottoms, whatever you want to call it. But they're pretty good to use. So we have a support where the market came back down to. I would actually move the support to this. And I'm ignoring these, going back in time. It looks so much better. You have support, breakout, market fake this support out, came back up inside of it, retest, continuation to the upside. Looking at on the daily chart, so yesterday we did have a doji forming inside of this, and now we're heading back up. So this could be where the market actually starts to have its uptrend one more time, or again, I'm sorry, one more time. You had a small pullback right here. Yeah, we can also take that. No, it doesn't look good. So yeah, on OGN, that's something that I definitely, yeah, market just continues up. But what we can see is that the market is actually coming up to retest these previous supports at 1.03. And then we see market just might have the momentum to the downside again. Back down to this, no, that was not a resistance, what I was talking about. That was just a V formation that we did have. To be honest, it's a very ugly chart on OGN. Not good looking at all. I appreciate that you post and come on live a lot. You are awesome. I hope you get a pink Lambo ASAP. Keep up the great work. Love from New York. Thank you so much, Mr. Bitcoin. Thank you so much. A pink Lambo in Sweden. Well, that is just screaming that someone will come and rob me. People in Sweden don't have Lamborghinis. They don't. And when you see one, you're like, oh shit! Looking at Matic. Same thing, we have a V formation right here. We did break the trend line, or we did break this resistance. Also the what is it called? I just forgot about it. It's the resistance, the neckline. So market can come back down to that level one more time, and then we see market break it. So it's just like in the middle of nowhere, nothing special is happening. We are creating a small downtrend like this. Hey Nada, can you feel? Of course. Looking at FEL, and we're taking these things away, starting off with the weekly. We have a support right here at 54.17. Nada, come move to California or Seattle, too many Lambos. Yeah, I bet. I was in Las Vegas once. It was pretty nice cars there too, but no. When you're born up in Sweden, you actually don't care so much about that, because that's not something that we're having. People don't talk about stuff like that. So when you're seeing one, you're like, nice. Okay. I do believe we will come back down more. We do create lower highs on FEL. But on the lower time frames, yeah, so we do have a downtrend right here. I know my cousin born and raised in Sweden, yeah. If you're talking about money in Sweden, they hate you. So sometimes when I've been telling people that I do forex trading, they're like, what? And what is that? Like, okay, whatever. You know, cryptocurrencies, they're like, no. No. We are retesting this low. Maybe something like this could happen. Or if we're actually holding it as a new support, market continues to the upside. So we do have to wait and see how the candlestick is working against them. If we're seeing this one closing like this, it could definitely come back down. But if we're seeing a candlestick just might looking like this, but right here, I do believe market can come up. But we just have to wait and see one more time. Okay, we're looking at BTT. Taking everything away, starting over. Same thing, we have a double bottom right here. We have the resistance where we could come back up to. Can also use this trend line right here on the weekly. We're going back down to the daily, and we're adjusting the trend line, so it's gonna look something like this. Looks so much better. We can come back down to the trend line one more time to around 0.003500, and market comes up to the resistance, and we do want the market to break the resistance, right? But it's a long way until we're doing that. But on the weekly, we do have this W formation, so in the long run, this could definitely happen. But when we're coming up to this level around 5,000, the market will not break it right away. It just might look something like this, and then we're coming back down a little bit. But to have this trend line is a good way to see if we're supporting it or not. also a support. Yeah, so it looks like we're coming back down. We're having another support at 3,930. We have another fake out from this level right here. If we do something like this, we just take it down. You see the wicks, resistance, resistance, resistance. Market breaks, comes market break, comes back in, retest, continuation to the upside. Asif, hello, how are you? KDA USDT, next please, getting a lot of hype and going parabolic. Okay, let's see what this pair can do. Just a huge bearish bullish wick, I'm sorry. We're having the market from 10.65 to the highest point at 17.7, and the market doesn't have to come back down to that level, but based on that, we're having such a momentum right now. Can also do something like this if we want to. We're taking a Fibonacci from 16.5 to the highest point 19.6. So the first pullback that I can see the market coming back down to is 17.17, or we're coming back down to the support at 16.5. If we're breaking that support, we're coming back down to another Fibonacci at 14.18. Continuation to the upside. And it's really hard doing anything when we see the market going up like that. So if you missed the trade, you missed the trade. Sorry, guys. Nicolas, you're awesome. Thanks. No problem. No problemos. Okay, guys. So if you don't know, Bitcoinsensus, we have a great website right here. If you're new to my channel, you maybe don't know about this, but on Bitcoinsensus.com, we do have daily updates about cryptocurrencies, and this is something that you can do, especially if you're new to this game. That if you're going into this previous, we do have previous. You can see 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago. And if you want to practice, this is a very good thing to do and see how the market actually is reacting to these levels. So for a couple of days ago, we did have this 15 minutes symmetrical triangle. And I remember that I did have this in one of our my videos that I regularly put up. Not the live streams, but just regular videos, and I was talking about this 15 minutes symmetrical triangle that we did have on Bitcoin. And so you can just go inside to this amazing website and just see whatever could come up. You have multiple other things here. You have Andy right here. 6 hours ago, he did put up a huge move coming for Bitcoin soon. You can go inside to that if you want to. So it's just a great website. We always have daily uploads about cryptocurrencies, and everything is for free, so it's definitely something that you should look at. Hello, you're doing a company while I work. Doing a great job. Keep it up, lady. No problem. Hey, can everyone please? Oh, thank you so much. Hello, how are you? What do you think about ADA and Sol? So we just went through them, and ADA is pretty boring. We can look at it again. So please, guys, if you are in this live stream and you haven't liked this video, please do that, so we're able to reach out to more people, so they can go and join and look at what we're looking at. I always say this, but I'm always trying to make trading as easy as possible. I'm trying to be as real with you guys as possible too. I don't want to fill you up with pretty lies that, you know, trading is easy. It's not easy. We're just being honest on this channel. And we need more people like that when it comes to trading, because trading today, I mean, trading is beautiful and it's wonderful, but on social media, it's so many people trying to take your money and just being dishonest about what's actually going on. It's really hard trading, but I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. Just buy everything now. Yeah! Buy! Just do it. Just buy everything. Sell everything and just buy everything. I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking. Oh wow, I didn't know women were in crypto. What do you think about Harmony? I know it's a lot of men doing crypto or trading overall. So we went through ADA, and it's just not doing anything special more than just going in between these lines right here at 2.0 and 1.8. So I definitely want to see the market break one of them. So we're just, even on the 4-hour chart, we're just moving sideways. So boring. But this is a great time, guys, when the market is doing something like this and it just is very boring. It's a great time to backtest, right? Backtest your strategy. You don't always have to look at what's happening right now on the charts. And that's actually one thing. It's very good with cryptocurrencies when it comes to that we're open 24/7, obviously depending on what type of broker you're having. But when you're trading, like for example, Forex or index, where it's always closed during the weekend. So sometimes it's pretty good to just, you know, don't looking at the charts, don't trying to find an entry, just relaxing, because you don't always have to be at the charts. And that is something, it's really hard, but sometimes that is with everything. Sometimes we just have to take a step back, and then when we're coming back, we have new energy with us. But when the market is this boring as it is, it's really boring, a great time for us to backtest. Okay, we're looking at Harmony, and it's the same thing here. We're just moving sideways. But we did come back. So I did take a Fibonacci from 0.21541. And we're coming, and I took it to 0.34713. Market came back down to this reversal Fibonacci to the 61 and 50%. Market comes up on the daily. It's pretty good. We can go back down to the lower time frame, see how it is. So we're using the 50% as a support, looking like this. This is a support. Market is breaking to the downside. You had the fake out. We came back down and touched the 60%. Market comes up, break to the upside. We had a small retest right here. If we're looking at the daily, you can see it more clear on the 15 minutes. You can see market came back up, retest, market continuation to the upside. So this is why it's really good using Fibonacci, guys. Combined with all of the other things. We're taking another Fibonacci from this fake out from 0.27291 to the highest point, 0.31246. Can you recommend a broker where you can trade crypto and Forex both? Yeah, you have PrimeXbt, and you actually, in the description down below, you will get a 50% on what you're depositing. So PrimeXbt is a very good one. You can trade both cryptocurrencies and Forex, and you can also trade index like US30. You can trade SPX 500. It's really good. So you have the link in the description down below. 1971 Cenarity. Okay, so Harmony, we're taking the fib as I told you guys on the, was it on the daily? So we're having the market just consolidate. We can come back down to 0.29 and then market continues to the upside. Because we are at the higher high, we broke the downtrend. We broke the downtrend at 0.29794. Remember guys, this is not where I'm buying the market. Need to wait for the market to come back down and then see what's happening at where I think the pullback can end. I also came to hear you say Fibonacci. Well, you didn't miss it. Remember, one told me to look at Ethereum, and looking at Ethereum, I've been analyzing this market today, so we have so much on the charts, taking these away, taking that one away, taking that one away too. So we did break this lower high at 4,405. Market could come back down to that level again. If we're closing with a candlestick like this on the 1 hour chart, I definitely see the market coming back down more. But we're also taking a fib from 4547 to the highest point at 4612. Can you see how we are respecting the 50% even now? So look at this guy. So this is why it's the beauty with Fibonacci. Market comes back down, retests 50%, market goes up. That's why you're using these tools, because you can see what's happening. But we can come back down also. But that is good, because when we're having these targets, we can see what the market is doing against them. That's the best thing. When we're seeing what the market is doing against these levels, for example, so we did have a lower high, market broke it, came back down, and we can see market didn't have the power to break this support. Market goes up, market comes back down, created the higher low, higher high. Market right now needs to create another higher low for then might continue to the upside. We do have a doji on the 4 hour chart. Thanks for the Harmony. I'm trying to get back into it right now. 285 looks good for entry. Yes, that's good. What is your two to set up? Well, Remy, who knows? Who knows? Thanks for covering Harmony. No problem. Was this something more? MTV? Okay, starting off with weekly. Oh, Jesus Lord! Such a choppy market, guys. What the heck? But we're respecting Fibonacci as always. If you don't know how to use Fibonacci, please do. When I started with Fibonacci, it was actually a game changer for me. Maybe it was 2 years ago I started using it. It's one of the best tools that I've ever got introduced to. Okay, so we did have the downtrend right here. So market did have a huge movement to the upside. Market did have a pullback right here. Market broke the trend line. So this was the downtrend. Market did break the downtrend when we broke this level right here. We came back down and retested also the trend line and the Fibonacci. And right now the market is trying to break to the upside. We can come back down to 0.0217 one more time for a last touch before we are heading up. Usually that's what market is doing, but we can also take a new Fibonacci from the lowest point at, we can take it from 0.216 to the highest point at 0.2355. We've already been here once. We can come back down there twice. So if we see the market coming back down to these levels and respects it, we just might see continuation. What is the purpose of this broadcast? I don't know, Brian. I don't know really. Market comes back down. If we're breaking this Fibonacci, we're coming back down to 0.0217. Why not click scroll button to delete drawings or indicators? ODDZ. They are very reliable. Okay, so we're having the Fibonacci right now. So we took it from 0.40 to the highest point, 0.72. Going down to the lower time frames, we almost came back down to the 50%. Oh, we did come back down to the 50%, and after that we did head up. Perfectly, we did break and retest the trend line to the upside. Looking at the 4-hour chart, I could definitely see the market continue back up after this. Yes. Can have another small Fibonacci from the lowest point to the highest point. So if we see, but we do have huge wicks, but yeah. So what I do believe, or what we could see, is the market coming back to 0.63968. Oh, Jesus. And it just happened right now in front of us. Hello, Moses. How are you? Wouter van Hermet. Hello from Holland. Hello. Hello. Okay, so first target that we could see market trying to retest at 0.64022. Or if we're breaking that level, we can come back down to 0.56564 again. Because this huge wick that we're having, we just might come back down a little bit. HBR. Okay. Maybe we have HBR USDT. What was this? Okay, we have more. Oh, Wesley! Wesley! No problem, Amanda. Okay, so we have a, I don't know, this is what you call a cup handle, right? I don't use that, but I've heard a lot about it. So we've been touching this trend line for multiple times. We almost came back to it again on the daily. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we did have a pullback right here. Oops. So this is a pullback. I don't see a couple and handle this one. You don't. So is this not a cup? It's not that what you're looking for. I don't know, guys. I don't use that pattern, so I actually gonna be honest. I don't know anything about it. I don't trade all of that. But if it's work, it works. But I don't know so much about it, so I'm not gonna give you my expertise about it. Have you done LTC? No, I can do it after this one. Okay, if we're breaking this trend line, we can definitely see the market continue back to the upside, because we did have a previous support right here where the market had one more time the fake out. Going back in time, this is also a previous resistance. If we're just dragging it down a little bit, previous resistance right here, resistance, breakout, retest, breakout, retest. And the cups should be even. Then you see retracement from the handle. Okay, Wesley, thank you so much. Oh, I did, Wesley. I don't remember that. I can look at it again. Okay, so we're taking fib from 0.3766 to the highest point at 0.3898. You could see the market coming to this resistance, then come back down either to the Fibonacci levels at 0.3815, or we're coming back down to the trend line one more time, and we're still in a uptrend. So at that point, we're still in this bullish, bearish channel right here. So this is just a pullback. So we need to wait to see when the market is having the end of the pullback, creating the higher low on the lower time frames, on the higher time frames. And we just might have the market coming back down a little bit, and then you see the market having huge movement, because it looks like we're at the end of the higher low, creating a new higher high. And at that point, we have to surpass 0.4195. Amanda, did you understand that? Did you understand what I was showing you? Looking at LTC again. Yeah, so where we are right now, we're having the V formation. We have the higher lows. No, sorry, she did not, must be. It's okay, Wesley, it's okay. We tried to break this high, never had the power to do that on the daily. But it's the same thing here, guys. We did have a previous resistance and also a previous support right here. Market came back down, broke the support again, retest, continuation to the upside. So I do believe from this support we can come up to 207, and after that just have patience to see how the market reacts to it. If I would have a order from this level right here, even if we're coming up to the resistance, I would not take my order out, but I would definitely have an eye to see if we're coming back down, and I would just move my stop loss to entry. Yes guys, please go inside and like this video. We are 93 people on this live stream right now. I don't know how many people has liked it, but please give this video a like so we can reach out to more people, so they can be able to see when we're analyzing the charts together. Track, is that something? So many different names. USDT. I don't have anything on that one. Okay, we're looking at track and we're having huge momentum to the upside on this one too. We could definitely use this previous resistance at 2.5. And we just broke that level. So market could come back down to that previous resistance again, continuation to the upside, or we just might break it. Oh, thank you so much, Walter van Hermert. Have a good day. Thank you for the following and for the like. Or we just might see the market breaking this support, previous resistance, comes back down, and at that point we're looking at 1.65. Oops, that doesn't look that good. Okay guys, so either break, comes back down, retest, or market comes back down, retest from under beneath, comes back down to the support. And after that, we have to see how market reacts to it. TRB. I think you are very tired. Just relax, because heart is very important after work. And thanks for the TA you did for yesterday. It looks like it's playing out the way you predicted. That's good. We can look at quants after this pair so we can see what's going on. And on TRB, we've already been here as a support and a resistance. Sorry, we did. Guys, look at this. So this is the fake out retest. Come on, guys. I mean, seriously, this happens all the freaking time. Market comes back down, fakes everyone out, give a retest, market continues back down. It's amazing. I mean, we should definitely take advantage of that. 100%. So every time the market gives you a fake out, you just wait for the market breaking inside, retest, and then I buy or I sell. You also have a head and shoulders on this pair. You have the shoulder, you have the head, you have the shoulder, market goes back down. So the retest was the right shoulder. It's amazing looking at the charts and just combining all of the patterns with each other. So we're having this support right here where the market can come can come up to and retest, and then I don't know how it goes in crypto. No. What? So I see market coming up to 60.80. That is so funny. What? Some people are so special. I do believe market can come up to 60.94 for the pullback, and then I see market coming back down again on TRB. But we're also having the higher high, so we could come back down to 54.21 and 56.01. Oh my god, it's so funny. QNTUSDT. Hello everyone, hello everyone. She's pretty hello. The weekly, looking at the daily. Okay, so market has been going sideways. We broke the trend line, or we did break the support. Market came back down to the 50%. Can you see how the market just closed above the 50%? Right now, what it looks like from this support that we're having is that we're actually having the fake out coming inside of the resistance one more time. Oops. Looking at the 4-hour chart, this is what could happen. We're taking Fibonacci from 253 to the highest point at 274. Market can come back down and retest 261 on the Fibonacci. Then you see market continues back up. Or something like this. Comes back inside and if we're breaking the support one more time, we can end here and then go up. But if we're breaking the support, comes back down to the Fibonacci, we see the market coming up again and retest continuation to the upside. Hello, I'm new to crypto and I'm very passionate about it. That's good. You never stop being that. Oreo Luva. It's good. Yes, Natalie, pretty sure, smart and funny. Go, Natalie, go. Thank you so much, Juan. Thank you so much. Quant. Okay, yeah. Hi, do you just look at GRT? Someone wanted me to look at. I think we were looking at GRT for a while. So confused, you know, so many pairs. I don't even remember what I was looking at. But I saw FTM USDT. We'll see if I've been looking at it. Okay, looking at the weekly, we did have the market coming up again, but looking at the daily, okay, something like this. So we did have this previous support, also a previous resistance. We had a lot of fake outs to the downside, fake out. So what could happen right now is that we're coming back up a little bit more, retest comes back down. Because we're in the market, and looking at the market is too tight. Every candlestick on the daily is very tight, so it's easy to get faked out. We're just consolidating, so the market doesn't have a clear direction. It's just going in between the resistance and the support. Just back up, goes up, comes back down, goes up, comes back down. So it could definitely just retest it one more time, coming back down to 2.5. So we have to break one of these levels, either resistance or the support. For then, if we're breaking the support, I could see market coming back down to 1.9, or we're coming back down to this previous higher low at 2.2. The market is so choppy on FTM. And guys, if you want to be a part of Bitcoinsensus community, Wesley just put up the link to our Telegram group. So if you want to be a part of us and just talk about cryptocurrencies, you're definitely more than welcome doing that. Everything's free. You're just having a lot of funny people to talk about when it comes to trading. Okay, so we did look at Shiba Inu before. And we did respect this trend line that I did have right here. Market is trying to break the support one more time. No problem on money making Mitch. We're breaking the support at 5,700. Looks like that. But have in mind, so we don't have something looking like this and then you're coming inside of it again. But this support, this trend line is very strong on Shiba Inu right now. But can you see the market just been going sideways? It looks like we're breaking it. But remember guys, the fake outs are everywhere. Market tried to break, comes back inside, retest, comes back up, retest the trend line, comes back down, wick. You had another fake out, market comes in, retest. But now we are in between the support and the resistance or the trend line. So we have to see on what direction it goes to. MDX. Okay, on MDX we are in a downtrend. We did break this low right here. We had the retest on the weekly also. Can you see market broke the the support, comes back up, retest, continuation to the downside. You have the head and shoulder formation right here, market comes back down. So we could come up to this previous resistance or support, I'm sorry, at 1.20. But we're also right now at another support right here. Right here. So we have to break either to the upside or to the downside. We do have a huge wick, but we just might come up to the resistance again, then breaks to the downside, continuation back down. We don't have so many other things. Okay, we do have a huge wick right here. So if we're going to the lower time frames, we could come back down to that level too. So if we're breaking this support at 1, we could definitely come back down to 0.8. Oops. KSM. Oh. KSM USDT. So we're looking at the daily. We do have a huge movement to the upside right now. So we could either come back down to, we had the V formation here, W, I'm sorry. I'm calling it V, I don't know why, but it's a W formation that we're having. We have this previous resistance right here on the weekly, so it's a pretty strong level. Market breaks, comes back down, retest, continuation to the upside. So the next target where we can come up to is 513, and after that we just might see the market breaks to the downside a little bit more, can come back down to 442, and then see the market breaks to the upside again. We can also use a fib from 445 to the highest point at 483. Market can come back down to the 50 and 60% level at 459, and that is also a previous resistance from where we broke off. Combining that with the Fibonacci is really good, so we could see the pullback coming back down to 460. That's the first target that I'm having, that I can see. I was looking at FTT too, I think. Maybe not. Okay, we're starting off with the higher time frames. We're having this high right here as a good target for us to come up to. Hey Nat, is there a difference when you draw your fibs on daily and weekly when you are looking on the targets prices for long term? Is it the daily or weekly when you draw your fibs? I do use different time frames when I'm having my Fibonacci. Depends on where the market is, and if the daily have a good higher low and a higher high for me to put my Fibonacci to. So it depends, and it always depends on what time frame I'm using, but I'm trying to see where we can come back down to. So usually the weekly is not accurate, but we can take a fib from the highest point to the lowest point right here. So I took it from 47.006 to the highest point 73.304, and this is actually where the market came down to and retested right now. So the market broke to the upside, market came back down and retested the Fibonacci. If we're taking it from the daily, so the weekly is a bigger zone for me to take. So it's I'm not using these targets, I'm using the previous target. I'm going down after that to the daily, and at that point I'm more looking at where we are right now. And at that point I'll take the fib from 55.485 to the highest point, and that is 65.664, and that is combined with the higher time frames Fibonacci on the 50%. So if the market comes back down to these levels, you both have the daily Fibonacci and you also have the 50% of the weekly, so it's a very strong level that we're having. So it depends. And do you prefer having the market respect 61 more than 50, or in case depend? I mean, what I've noticed is that the market is respecting the 50% more often than the 61%. But I usually, when I take if I take a limit order from these targets, I usually use the 61% because I want to have either the lowest price or the highest price as possible. Usually when you're having the 61.8%, the market just have the wick right there, and then you spike to the downside. So the 50% is more respected as what I have seen, but I usually take the 61 because I want to have a better price. But it sucks when you're having your target, your entry to be activated at 61%, and you see like you're having like 2 pips away from that level, and then you see market come straight up. So on FTT, we do have huge momentum to the upside, so we have to wait and see if the market comes back down. If we are not having trouble breaking this high right here, we can also come back down to this previous resistance at 62.494. Yeah. And if we're breaking this level at 62.479, that's when I'm starting to look at 60.570. OMG, please. Okay, we're looking at OMG. It needs maybe more. Look at Binance instead. Okay, so we have so much more on this chart. So we are on our way down on OMG. Could also, we're taking this Fibonacci away that we're having on the higher time frames, do it like this. We're taking a new fib from 14.287 to the highest points at 19.325, and right now we are inside of the Fibonacci that we're having on the 4-hour chart, but we do have huge bearish candlestick to the downside. Yes, I can look at XRP after this pair, definitely. We do have lower highs right now. High, lower high. If we're breaking this low, we just might come back down to 14.23. Because we're having so many bearish candlesticks, and if we're coming back down to these previous resistance also, that is something that we definitely could do. So I could definitely see market coming back down and have this as a support, and then just might see the market having the higher low at 15, and then see market continues back up. Okay, we're looking at XRP. So we did have this one before, so we are retesting this trend line that we do have, and I took it on the daily. So we are inside of this triangle on the daily. We did have the pullback on the 4-hour chart. We did break this trend line, and what I don't want to see right now is that we're having another candlestick, but we could definitely have that. I would wait and see how this, how this 4-hour candle is closing, because it could definitely come inside looking something like this one more time. So we just might have a fake out. Doesn't have to happen, but it could definitely do that. So we're just waiting for the market. If we're retesting it at 1.2, or haha, get some sleep. Yeah, I will. Back test. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? If we're taking the fib from this low at 1.1863 to the high at 1.2155, market, if market comes inside again, but we're seeing the market respecting this Fibonacci, could definitely break to the upside again. But we did break this trend line, so we just have to see how the market will react to it right now. So guys, if you're new to this channel, please go inside and subscribe, because I have regular live streams during the weeks. I have once a day, I always put up a video about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and combining that with live streams. So please guys, go inside and hit the subscribe button and notification so you can see when I'm live. So for you guys who doesn't know who I am, my name is Natalie. I'm from Sweden, and I've been doing trading. I got introduced to trading at 2018, and the day after I got introduced, I've been doing sitting at the charts ever since. So ever since 2018, I've been looking at the charts. No parties, no nothing. It's always been the charts. So that is me, everyone. Now you know who I am. Okay, so we did have, looking at VeChain, we did have the market breaking this support that we're having on the daily, on the weekly, no, on the 1 hour chart. Market broke it, came back. Vitalion is here. Hello. Market breaks, broke the support, comes back up as a resistance, can come back down to 0.15. That's what I see right now on VeChain. So we do have another 4-hour candle right now been activated. It has been active in, we have 3 hours and 34 minutes left. So break retest comes back down. So that's VeChain. I do believe we'll come back down to the support. Okay, good. Oh no, I didn't look at. I can look at the link right now. Maybe I was looking at Chainlink. Yeah. So we do have this V formation. W. I'm sorry. We're trying to break the resistance right here. We're having trouble. So if we're taking this away, we can see more clear on what's actually going on. So we can take a trend line right from this bottom, looking something like that. Looks good to me. So we're having trouble. So you can see when we're coming up to this resistance, it's also, when we're coming up to this resistance right here, we tried to break it a couple of times before. We never had the power to do it. And right now we're having trouble. We also have 2 wicks. So we never had even the body closing like this. So we're having trouble. So Mandar, why you ignore me? What happened? What? I've been ignoring you? What? What have you been saying, Mandar? I'm sorry about that. So market can come back down too. Come come back down to the trend line one more time, and then we just might have the power to break to the upside. Hey Nat, your views on GRT USD. Okay, Mandar, I'm sorry, I just missed that. I'll check that for you. And if we are continuing back down, it could happen because on the lower time frames, we do have a head and shoulders. If we're closing underneath this left shoulder, market can come back down. And at that point, you have the support. What happens? Market breaks, retest the neckline, comes back down. Overall target, we're breaking the resistance, but we just might need to come back down before we find the strength to actually break it. That's what it looks like. Hey, can you look at Elon balls just for fun? GRT. USDT. Okay, we're looking. Okay, Mandar. Look at this now. So we're taking down this resistance. I don't know why we had it up there. Okay, so on the weekly, we are right now at the previous resistance at 1.0992. It's a meme coin. Not a looping bullish pennant. Do you see what's this? Alien balls. Wow. So we're having trouble breaking this level right here too. Fake out, market comes up, retest, just might go back down. So either we will have a lot of dojis right here, then you see market goes back down, or we will actually have the breakout, retest, continuation to the upside. It's definitely something that could happen right now. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you can also look at the 8-hour chart. So we're trying to break it again. So we have to see how these candlesticks in a couple of hours ahead how it will look like. Because I wouldn't sell the market right now because we do have momentum trying to break the level. And we also have a V formation right here. A higher low, a higher low. Continuation to the upside. So I would just look at how the market is reacting to these levels before I do anything. So we're looking at LRC USDT. We're starting off with the weekly. We just have a huge candlestick. Okay, so I did take a Fibonacci from 0.9435 before to the highest point, and that is this high that we're having at 1.5288. Market comes back up, market comes back down. It retested the 60 and first of all we broke it, came back up and retested it. First of all the 61%, then came up and retested 50%, now continuation to the upside. But we did have trouble breaking this high that we're having on the 4-hour chart at 1.3802. So what could happen? You see market fake out, retest, continuation to the downside. Natalia, are you single? Who knows? Maybe baby, maybe not. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so we could come back down to 1.2372 again. And we're just going sideways in between these levels, to be honest. But I definitely see market coming back down. We can also come back down to 1.1688. So we're looking at Ocean USDT, and this is this yeah, because I remember we were looking at this pair before. So we did have the breakout to the upside. Can you see we tried to break this resistance? We didn't have the power to do that. Taking these away. I do have a support trend line right here. Looks like we're coming up and retesting this. Because guys, at this point, we all know when the market is faking us out, it comes back up and retests the resistance, comes back down to the support of this trend line. And at that point, we just might see the market breaking to the upside. What's it like having 95% man fans, lol? Talapton, reggae dancehall artist from London, bless. I mean, it's okay as long as I don't care if it's females or males that is following me. The only thing that I care about is that I really want people to succeed, because I know how hard it is in trading, but it's a very manly dominated industry, definitely, and sometimes I could definitely see that on the comments. But I mean, as long as we're having, I mean, don't need to be so serious about it. It's okay, it's funny, as long as we're having fun and can laugh, that's good. So yeah, this is how it looks right now. We can come up and retest the resistance again. As I told you, comes back down to the trend line. Please give your views on. Yes. Can you tell me if Amanda, can you tell me if you think BTC is going back down to 60K? I mean, we do have on BTC we do have the trend line right here. Thank you, Joanne, you're so sweet. We do have this trend line right here. And we could come up to that trend line and try to break it. But we also have a previous resistance right here that we have to break. So it could break the trend line, have the fake out, and then come back inside again. It's really hard telling if we're coming back down, but I do believe, looking at how the weekly is, well, we do have a pretty bullish candlestick, but if we are having the Monday opening, we could definitely see a pullback down to 60 again, because it's not that far away. It's not that far away. It could definitely come back down to that level. but it just might be just a quick wick or something to the downside, and then the market continues back up. But looking like this, the market is just going sideways in between 60,000 and 64,000. And obviously we do have multiples other support and resistance zones in between those levels, but we have to break. Oh, sorry, XPR. Okay, market could break. We want the market either to break 64,000 or 60,000. And if we're breaking 60,000 and don't have a fake out, I can see market coming back down to 54,000. Okay, so we're looking at XPR. I'm taking a fib from 0.01432 to the highest point at 0.04616. We came back down to Fibonacci on the 2 daily chart. We did have a downtrend. We can see it more clear on the 4 hour, looking something like this. So we broke the downtrend when we broke the 50%, because this was the last lower high that we did have. So market came back down to Fibonacci level, and Fibonacci level is the retracement tool that we are using to see how the market reacts to it. In this case, the market did it perfectly, came back down, had it as a support, broke the downtrend, respected the Fibonacci. And right now we're having the market coming back down again. You can see that we're creating new lower highs right here, high, lower high, and we can come back down to 0.03035 one more time before we break into the upside. Looking at this high, so this is why we're having the market coming back down. Can you see we do have a previous small lower high right here with these 2 wicks on the 29th of October and the 30th of October. We did have the market try to break it, had a fake out, so we did close inside of it again, and look what happened. Market comes back down, retested, and that is the wick that you're having right here. Retest, comes back down. Natalie, please check Joshi. Subaru, I'm not looking at this, I'm sorry. It looks terrible. It looks terrible. Okay, so guys, it's 84 people on this live stream. I'm very happy because when I started this, it was kind of like 12 people. So it's really funny that we're having so many people on this live stream. I'm very thankful for that. Please go inside and go to my channel and subscribe to my channel so you're always able to see when I'm having my live streams or when I'm having my daily uploads on cryptocurrencies. But I also want to know, guys, where are you from? So I'm from Sweden, and I know it's a lot of people that's from India. We do have Juan, she's from Washington, D.C. We do have Wesley, and he's from the moon. Wesley, if you're still here. But guys, where are you from? Aurelia from UK, from Mandari's from India, Holland. Oh yeah, Wesley, I'm sorry, you were from Holland. I'm sorry, I forgot. I actually wanted to move to UK, but I mean, when Corona happened, it was not possible to do that. Oh, Jesus Lord! UK, Turkey, Istanbul, London, UK, Amsterdam, Croatia, Jamaica is here, Scotland, and I'm from Botswana, Texas, I'm from Paris. Russia is here also, India. California. Oh, Pamela is here. Good morning. Hope your coffee is good this morning. This is the great thing with Canada is here, Iraq is here, UK, Argentina. This is the good thing that we can connect with each other. It doesn't matter where we are from. We're having the same passion and hobby. Philippines is here, and it's great to connect. I hope that we can, not everyone, I don't think that's possible, but one day that we will see each other. It would be nice seeing some of your faces. The future. I'm from the future. Oh my god! Florida is here. Money making Mitch is here. Come to Paris, Natalie. Yeah, I would. I actually want to, but I mean, it's cold in Sweden. Yeah, it is. South Africa, Switzerland. Hey Natalie, I got a friend to join your live. She's new crypto and wants to quick TA. We are Nat Army. This is a great community. So many people here. When we're all rich in crypto, we can meet in Barbados. Yeah, we can definitely do that. That would be nice. Okay, we're starting off with MOVR. We had fake outs on the daily. So what happens? Can you analyze to full? Yeah, I can do that, Liana. Just 1 second. Market can come up to this to 420. Market comes back down to the support. So we're just moving sideways, guys. So we definitely have to see if the market is going to break to the upside or to the downside. What I do believe could happen is that we're actually coming back down to find strength from the Fibonacci that we're having around 330 and 310, and then market comes up. So you just might have the fake out to the downside. Everyone thinks the market will come back down. Market fools everyone. Take your money, respect the support, and then it goes up and your money's out. This is usually what happens. Just ask Wesley. Wesley knows everything about losing money. Guys, I'm starting to get tired. Okay, we're looking at Theta Fuel. We're having the supports right here. Wesley! Oh my god, this is so funny! Okay, looking at... Isn't this what she basically just did with... Yeah, when all the pairs is looking exactly the same, so I have to do it. It's just different prices. Jerry Kwan. You know, when you're trading, you do the same thing all over and over again. There's no magical things, you know. It's support, resistance, zone, supply, demand. Market goes up, goes down, it goes sideways. You do the same thing over and over again. So we're coming up, we just might come up to the resistance on the daily, and that is around 0.4200. We're having trouble breaking this high. Let them hate. I see what you're talking about. Subar, I'm not gonna start talking about boys on this live stream. This is about cryptocurrencies. I'm sorry. I see market coming back down to 50% of this Fibonacci around 0.3496. Market comes back down and we just might see the market go up. At that point, we're having a W formation, and as long as we're closing above this low right here, could also come back with wicks, and then market continues to the upside. As long as we're having an eye on 0.4130, because when the market comes to this level, it can look something like this, or we just start to break it to the upside. No, Subar, it's okay, it's okay. Okay, Pamela wanted me to look at uni. Of course, Pamela. Okay, so we're having on the daily, we're just starting over on uni for you, Pamela. Oops. So we're having a Fibonacci from 16.32 to the highest point at 3.23. We are just above the 50% of the Fibonacci at 23.35 on the weekly right now. On the daily, we are just moving sideways in between the 50% level and 27.28. So we just have to wait and see if we're coming back down to the support at 50%, and then market slowly goes up to the upside, but we're just going inside. So wait for the market to break it. Market either break to the downside. If we're breaking the 50%, you can come back down to 21.67, and that is the 61% that we're having on the Fibonacci. And then you just might see market continue to the upside, because the overall picture, we are in a downtrend. This is just a pullback that we're having, and we've had a lot of wicks to the downside right now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 wicks that has been touching the 50%. EXRDUSDT. Well, Okay, so I guess this is the all-time high that we're having on this pair. So then, I mean, with the all-time high is around 3502. So we just might pull back down. It can pull back down to 0.2895 and 0.28110. For the pullback, can also come back down to the support at 0.2551. Market continuation to the upside, but it's really hard right now. I mean, the market can do a lot of things in between these areas. We don't have so much to look at right now, but it could definitely come back down. XTZ. Did I look at that? Okay, we're looking at XTZ. Josak, thank you. Thank you so much yourself, no problem. Okay, so we did have this resistance at 6.973. Market broke, came back down, retested it, and we are either coming back down to this previous support, looking at these candlesticks right here. So it's the same thing with everything right now. We're just in between. We are just in between everything. Edgar is here. Hello. You need some rest. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's just a choppy market right now on XTZ. You have so many wicks looking at the daily, so the market doesn't know what direction it's gonna take right now, or it does, but it doesn't look that good. If we're just looking at this, no, it's a very ugly chart right now. Super ugly. You have the support. It can come back down to 6.160. Don't think I've closed my eyes in 2 months the way the market is looking. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I've never slept so little since I started to do trading, but obviously that is because you really enjoy doing this. But sometimes you definitely need to close your eyes because you just need to relax from everything. I would wait for this market because it's really ugly. Oh, chain link. We did look at link before, and when we do have a so we're looking at chain link right now. We do have this previous resistance. We have a trend line right here on the daily. I took it from the daily. We do have a support where the market tried to fake us out. It's also a previous resistance if we're going back in time, looking at something like this. We are right now in between the support at 305.91 and the resistance that we're trying to break, and we did have trouble breaking it every time. So going back in time, you had the fake out, you had the fake out. We're really trying to break this level, but we don't have the power to do it right now. We do have maintaining lower highs. Looking at the 4-hour chart. We can come back down either to the support one more time. We can also come back down and retest the trend line. If we're going to the daily, we can also have this trend line right here where we can come back down to, and then market goes to the upside. But we're really trying to break this resistance, and we do have a pretty strong weekly candlestick to the upside. But remember guys, it takes some time before we actually breaking a strong resistance and support level at the weekly. So that is why the market is coming back down, to create the strength, the liquidity, for then just might blow up. Thank you so much, Jerry Kwan. Yeah, we just have to see, but the fake outs against these levels are, they are many of them. Many of them. XRP. Oh, yeah, we can do XRP. XRP USD, and it's the same thing. We've been going through this. So we did break this. Trend line to the downside. We've been in this triangle for my whole life. It feels like that. And what I do not want to see is that we're having the fake out. So it can look something like this. I told guys before, so if we're having the fake out, we just might see the retest, then market comes inside of it again. But market can also come inside and retest the Fibonacci levels that we're having at 1.1975. Market comes up. We can also take a Fibonacci from the lowest point at 1.1284 to the highest point at 1.2163. And if we're skipping that first Fibonacci, we can come back down to 1.16, comes back up. So that's what I see right now on XRP. Let's see, CRV USDT. So we did break this resistance. So this didn't happen. Oh, I'm sorry guys. Getting late in Sweden. We came back down to this previous resistance at 2.052. We had a doji, market comes up, had huge momentum. Market breaks this support, retests the support, and goes straight up. What we can wait for right now is not to buy the market right here. I'm no financial advisor. You do whatever you want to do, but I would never buy the market at the highest point. I would definitely wait for the market to come back down. And we just might have trouble breaking this high. That is why we are stopping. This is why you have the dojis. So we're just waiting for the market to pull back. Okay, Wesley wanted me to look at Luna, so of course. pools. Can you have a look at Luna and see where people might get in? It just broke out a little while ago. From where did it break out? Okay, we do have the high right here. Market didn't have the power to break it. So looking at 52.47 to see how if we're coming back up and retest it, comes back down, or if we're breaking it, and then I would buy at the resistance, as long as we're not seeing the fake out, guys. Remember, a lot of fake outs, that is like 90% of what I'm talking about right now, it feels like. But we have so many of them, so we definitely need to focus, because the fake outs, it is what gives us minus on our account. But where could we come back down to if we are seeing the market pull back? So we're taking these away. We're taking a Fibonacci from the lowest point at 42.79 to the highest point, and that is 51.99, where market could come back down to is this previous resistance that we're having at 45.74. No problem, Wesley, but we can still look at this Luna, it's okay. Market could come back down to between 45 and 47, I would say. And then we just might see the market having the power to the upside. Alice, okay, we're looking at Alice. I saw you were writing that before. Alicia. Okay, we're looking at Alice USDT. We're looking at the weekly. Was that the daily? Today? Just 1 second, guys. Okay, we're looking at Alice USDT. First of all, the weekly. Remember, guys, all the pairs is all, they move the same way. So we have the V formation, WV formation. Taking that one away because we don't, because we don't need it. You have the previous resistance at 17.64. Okay, so Wesley, we're talking about this. Yeah, so as long as we're looking at, so the market did break this triangle that we're having, so you're definitely right, Wesley. So the target for the market to come up to is 17.62. After that, remember, it's a strong level that we're having, looking at the weekly and the daily. So when the market comes to that level, you just might see some rejections before it actually could be able to break it. As long as we're not having the same thing that happened here, you had the fake out, market comes inside. What could happen is that the market actually comes up, retested, and then you see market coming back down again. But definitely have an eye for the resistance at 17.85. Super important, guys. Even if you are in a trade right now, you mean just because the market comes to that level, you don't have I wouldn't take myself out. I would look at how the market is reacting to it. And if I see, oh, we're having a fake up, market comes back down, I would either take profits, or I would move my stop loss to entry. No problem, Wesley. HLO. What? Okay. Can you look at Ethereum? Of course I can. We're having bullish momentum. Bullish momentum. Okay, so we're coming back down. We have bearish momentum. So we've been looking at Ethereum before. I took a Fibonacci from 4,547 to the highest point at 4,614. The pullback can come back down to, first of all, 4,571, or coming back down to 4,546. Then we just might see the market continuing to the upside. If we're looking at the overall picture, we did create a high market. It doesn't need to, but usually that happens. It needs to come back down and have a pullback. If we're breaking Fibonacci, we could come back down, as I told you, to 4,548. Buy MTH BTC, big pump is going on. Okay, so when the market has been doing its pump, it's pretty risky just going into a market right now. So I would be careful telling other people what to do when you're having the momentum right here, because guys, if you're starting to buy the market right here, and you'll see that the market from nowhere looking like this, and you were listening to someone telling you buy the market right now, that is not his fault, that is your fault, listening to someone doing that. You already have a huge candlestick, so you do whatever you want to do, but please guys, don't listen to just someone telling you to buy certain things. Fam, hey fam, how are you? The crypto market looks suspect. Fam, you're 100% right. Sometimes crazy things happening. Okay, we're looking at EOS. We do have a support right here. We're also having a trend line right here on the weekly. We can adjust it when we're coming to the daily. So we are maintaining the higher lows. Sorry, I'm quiet. I just very focused. Very. Okay, so we do have the first trend line is on the daily, where we can come back down to, but we also have another trend line on the 4-hour chart that we did respect 3 times. So I took it from the first touch down here, second touch, third touch. We're combining with the Fibonacci from the lowest point from 4.149 to the highest point at 4.811. Market came back down to Fibonacci 50 and 61%. Market broke, came back up, retested the 50% one more time, continuation to the upside. What we'll have to look for right now is to see, so we're not having the market coming up to this trend line that we're having as a resistance. We can come back down again, trying to break this resistance, continuation to the upside. So that is something that I would definitely see the market do. And we're using that previous support trend line right here on the 4-hour chart, and we're combining that with the Fibonacci, so it could definitely come back down. It's 18:14. Mana. Looking at mana, and it's the same thing here. So I did take a Fibonacci from 2.4 to the highest point at 2.9. So what I'm waiting for is to see if the market comes back down to the previous resistance, and that is also a previous support at 2.6361. And then see continuation to the upside. We're looking at Polkadot on we're taking a fib from 40.1924 to the highest point at 53.8578. So the same thing right here. So we are at the higher high right now on the daily. Looking at the 4-hour charts, we start to see movements to the downside. We did have trouble breaking this high at 54.1655. So if we're starting to see maintaining lower lows, lower highs, we're coming back down to Fibonacci, also retesting this previous high. Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a Disney fan. Yeah, Wesley. We can come back down to 45.6809. So that's what I see. We're starting to have movements to the downside on Polkadot. If we're not breaking the resistance that we do have right here at 53.80, you could definitely see the market trying to break that level one more time, and then you see market breaking to the upside. So you definitely need to look at these targets that we're having. But if we're continuing to the downside, these are the targets that I'm having, because that's the Fibonacci levels that we're having. SDC. SDC USDT. We don't have anything on SDC, David. Okay, we can see what if we've been doing anything on Bitcoinsensus.com. Is it that one? Yeah. So it looks like we're having some trouble with the pictures on the website, or do we? Okay, so guys, I did go through this before, but please guys, we do have a website on bitcoinsensus.com, and if you want to see daily updates on cryptocurrencies, this is a great platform that you can use. Everything is for free. You can go into this and you have news, you do got exchange reviews, you have guides how to buy Bitcoin, how to trade Bitcoin, etc., best trading exchanges. So you have so many things on this website, but the best thing that we actually have, so 6 minutes ago we were talking about Ethereum, and we will be talking about this 4-hour key level and why the bulls must hold it for this massive bull run for Ethereum to play out and through the remainder of this year. So on the 4-hour chart on Ethereum, so it's super good. So if you want to practice on the overall, just go into this website and you can see what we're talking about, and then you can just follow it, because in the text we're just writing everything that happens in the market. So if you just want to go inside and practice, see what's happening, you can definitely do that. It's great platform. So we're talking about the level, what level is it? That level. Taking that one away, you can see this is the level that we need to break, but obviously we just might come back down before we're breaking this high at 4,638. So guys, look at bitcoinsensus.com, and we're also having right now on Bybit. It's a good exchange where you can trade from. You can claim up to $3,500 in bonus right now. We do have different, I think this is to middle of November, if I'm not wrong, that we're having this bonus. You can trade up to 100% leverage. I do not recommend that, guys. So even if it looks good, but please don't do that if you're not super duper experienced. So Bybit, guys, you can either click on the description down below that I'm having on this channel, or you can go into the website and you can just read about it. If you never used Bybit before, you can also see on guides that you have a Bybit tutorial right here. You can either read it or you can listen to Andy that do have a video about how to use Bybit. So it's a step-by-step Bybit tutorial that you can use. So yeah, if you want to see how I'm using the Fibonacci, Wesley did just put up a the link to the video that I'm actually explaining how I'm using the Fibonacci. And guys, remember, it's really hard explaining exactly how you do it, because with time and you practice, you are developing your own way of seeing the market. So I usually take it from the lowest. When it's an uptrend, I always take it from the lowest point to the highest point to find my retracement. And when it's the downtrend, I'm taking it from the highest point to the lowest point. But it doesn't always have to be the last low or the last high. So it depends. But I try to explain it as good I can in the video. So you have the link inside of the chat where Wesley just did put it up. So you can definitely see that, and I hope that you understand what I'm talking about in the video. I'm trying to explain it as easy as I can. ASM to the moon. Okay, we're looking at ASM USDT. Someone said ASM to the moon. It doesn't look like it. It was in the it was at the moon. Came back down to Earth right now. Oh my god. You're coming back down, guys. So we're having this trend line. The market is respecting really, really good right now. We're coming back down. We're having another trend line right here. The moon is over, yeah. Yeah, it came back down pretty fast. I remember when everyone was hyping. Looks like a Wesley moon right there. I remember when everyone was so hyped about Shiba, and one of my friends, he called me and he was so proud that he had so much money in Shiba. And the day after, the market was like... I called him, I was like, how are you? He was so mad. Had so much money and then everything disappeared. TA0. Yep. The funny thing with cryptocurrencies, you know, you get everyone hype one and the next day is another one. It's pretty, it's an interesting industry to be in. I made so much money in Shiba Inu trades. That's good. But the people that invested in Shiba, I don't remember how it looks like now, but when everyone was hyping about it, people started to buy the market, and the market was at its highest high. So they started to buy, and then the market just came back down. So that is the good thing being a trader and understanding how the market is moving, because at that point you'll understand when the market's doing its pullback. So someone who doesn't understand nothing about charts, they just invest. They just might maybe have been listening to a friend or something, and they're starting to buy when everyone's hyping that, and they're losing their money. That's sad. It's really sad. So that is why it's really good being a trader, because you understand how the market is moving. Right now the crypto market is waiting to F up. Yeah, it's always doing that. So the market did the same thing here. So it pretended that it was supposed to go up. Guys, this is what happened. So you're having the trend line right here. So I'm taking the trend line from the 4-hour chart. On the 1-hour chart, you can see the fake outs. Market tries to break it, comes back in. Market tried to break it, comes back in, retest it multiple times, tried to break it, comes back in, retest the trend line. This is everything that happens. So that is why it's really good. I took 7 billion Shiba Inu because its logo was so cute, and there was a that's so interesting. Yeah, fake out, breakout. Yeah, fake outs are everywhere. I don't know, I'm just gonna look at I just want to see how it looks like. It's not the same thing on regular XP, I mean index pairs. Yeah, well, we do have fake outs there too. Okay, so on ASM, we could come back down to the trend line right here, to 0.172. We just might break that level also. We just have to wait and see. Something like that maybe looks better. The crypto market is the definition of Wesley. Goes up, hype, goes back down, cries. You got Wesley. You got so Wesley. So if someone's telling me, oh, I lost a lot of money, the only thing that I'm thinking about that, you got Wesley. I don't even feel sad about people anymore when they... No one ever wants to buy at the lows. That's because they do not understand how the market is working, guys. Okay, so on AVAX, we're having huge momentum, so we have to wait for the market to come back down. To what level? Well, we have these levels right here. You have the support, you just might break it. Well, thanks. No problem, Wesley. No problem. It's okay. Give important tips for trading, please, Natalie. Don't ever buy at the highest point and don't ever try to sell at the lowest point. So what I'm meaning with that, when you see the market up here right now, I wouldn't buy anything because at that point the market could come back down. So we're waiting for the pullback. You have the higher high, you need to create a higher low, or this is how I do it. Sell high, buy low, exactly. Wesley, I want to be... And yeah, so that is actually the biggest problem people having, and that is like the first thing that someone teaches you, is that you always buy at the lowest point and you're trying to sell at the highest points. But somewhere between all of these words, people start to buy high and sell low anyway. Like, people don't get it, and I understand that, because you don't understand how market is working. That is why. But that is like the first super good advice I can give you, is trying to understand, and that is market structure. You need to understand how the market is moving. You need to understand higher lows, lower highs, supply and demand zones, support and resistance, trend lines. Have a plan, exactly. But with having a plan, first of all, you have to understand market structure. Because if you don't understand how the market is moving, how you're supposed to even have a plan. That is like the first thing that you need to understand. That's what I would say. Buy now and sell low. Buy now. Don't buy now. I'm no financial advisor. You do whatever you want to do, but I wouldn't do it. And don't try to trade all of the pairs that exists. So every pair that I am going through right now, I only trade one cryptocurrency. I only trade one. I can analyze a lot of cryptocurrencies, but if you're having too many things, if you're having so many pairs that you want to trade, you will confuse yourself. So when I'm taking a trade, for example, I'm taking a trade of Bitcoin, and because I also trade index pairs, I don't take that pair. I only trade one pair at a time. So I'm 100% focused on one pair, and then I'm taking the next pair. So I'm trying to make everything simple. Only one. Why not 5 if you see good entries? I just decided that I didn't want to do that because I remember, yes, I only trade Bitcoin. That is the only pair that I focus on one pair. I know everything about that pair, and that's good. But that is the only pair that I'm trading on cryptocurrency. So I trade different index pairs also. So I have 3 pairs that I know so much about, because these are the 3 that I've been back testing back in time hundreds of times. So that's something that I would recommend. Try to understand everything about one pair instead of little about hundreds. That's something that I do. You don't have to do it, but that's how I trade. It works for me, it works good, and that's the only thing I care about. What pair? I trade Bitcoin, SPX, and Dow Jones. These are the pairs that I'm trading. So it's index. I don't trade Forex. It's too boring, because when you're trading Bitcoin, for example, so Bitcoin is very volatile, but it's very good. And then you start looking at Euro USD, and you start to sleep because it's so boring. So it takes forever to get to your stop loss, and forever to get to your take profit. It's really boring. We can look at A to A, yes. Okay guys, I need to charge my phone. Just 1 second, I'm coming back. Give me unos momentos. I need to have my charger. Let's see if this is gonna work. Good. It's not gonna work. ETH is fine as gas fee, real patterns. I hope experience, but in every reputation it is telling people to buy SHIB. I am not. Okay, so we're on ADA. We did have the things that I did predict. We came back up to the resistance. We came back down and retested, and then we just might continue back down. SRM. Okay, looking at SRM, we're having the resistance, we're having the support, we're taking that one. Okay, we're just taking everything away. So we do have this resistance right here. We had the fake out, market came back up, retested, market goes up. We're having another resistance right here. So we are, guys, we're just going in between. It's the only thing that we're doing. Just going in between. So what I would do, we do have the market having a uptrend though, looking like this. Looking at the 4-hour chart, this is how the trend line looks. So we could come back down to the trend line, or we can come back down to the support again, obviously. Taking a fib from the lowest point at 7.424 to the highest point at 7.864. We came down and we retested the 50%. So at this point, we just might continue to the upside, but we are having a downtrend on the 1-hour chart right here too, if we're zooming in. So I would definitely see the market coming back down to either 7.5 or coming back down to even 7. Oh yeah, it's 7.5 everything. But 7.597. But as long as we're not breaking 7.423. We did have a downtrend right here. The market broke it. Yeah. We can also take a new. So we're taking another fib from the lowest point at 7.6 to the highest point 7.7. We just might come back down to a small Fibonacci at 7.7, comes back up. I'm staying out of everything now. Yeah, I actually do that too because the market is not looking that good, fam. I totally agree. But we're trying to break on Bitcoin. We're trying to break this resistance right here that I did have. For me, this is a supply zone where the market has been before. And this was actually where the market came to when the market had huge volatility. So every time the market has been around 62,200, the market has reversed from it. And we're trying to break that level, but we can come up to the resistance and the trend line that we're having around 63,000. So I want to see how the daily is opening. I want to see how the market is doing in the beginning. So that is what I would do. I'm waiting to. So this trend line, I know it's, for me, it's something that I'm waiting for the market to come up to. Who are you to even speak? Please show your portfolio so we can laugh. Andre. You can look at how I'm using the charts. Ethereum, we're doing the same thing. So everything is it's very boring right now. And yeah, exactly, Valation, we are. Agree, patient is the key. It's definitely something that we need to do right now. You're very boring, Andre. So coming to that is okay, guys. It's always gonna be people like that. It's no problem. And the thing is that this doesn't matter if someone shows their portfolio. Trust me, the people, they will continue doing that. So even if I'm showing him everything that I got, he will tell me, guys, Natalie, you're not good at what you're doing. It's the same thing over and over again. So it doesn't matter how good you are, there's always someone who wants to come and talk shit about you. It's always the same thing, so it doesn't matter. I mean, look at Whitney Houston. She was a great singer. Do you think everyone liked her? They were like, yeah, she cannot sing. It's always gonna be like that. If he comes back and starts again, hiding from the channel, Natalie, I got to go in 2 minutes. Oh yeah, guys. Yeah, exactly. So please, guys, don't do drugs. Okay, so I'm gonna end this live stream right now. I've been having this live stream, I don't know for how long, but I got to go. My phone will all soon die too. So thank you everyone for being on this channel together with me and having this live stream. And never stop with what you're doing. Never listen to people that are never listen to people that are mean to you. It doesn't matter if you're a good trader, if you're a good person, if you're a bad trader, as long as you're humble, guys. Don't ever talk down to other people. Please join Bitcoinsensus Telegram community for daily updates and alerts. And Wesley have the link inside of the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a good day. We see each other next week. So tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you so much for taking your time. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please, guys, go inside and like this video so we can reach out to other people. Thank you, Natalie. Good night to you. Good night, Joanne. Have a good day. Thank you, everyone. Subscribe, like this video, comment if you liked it. Have a good day. Trade with risk management. Patience is key. You get paid to be patient. Okay, guys?